right, just saw a post from Mercedes Rules 26 on Twitter. Why? Karen has a question for y'all. Why all of a sudden did he do all this for Fatima in weeks and wouldn't do it for her in 3 years? Can y'all break it down for her real quick? So, that's funny because every time I go on Twitter, there's a bunch of Karen or Zatima related content that I'm scrolling through, or somebody either tags me in, or, and it's very interesting to look at the different responses of these posts. And somebody says, because Fatima encourages Zach, Karen tears him down. Well, not just down, but all the way down. And look, I read through at least 20 of these responses, and everybody's saying the same thing because she's bitter, she's hateful, she's spiteful, she tears people down. But somebody said this in grandma talk: don't expect to drink from a cup that you've never poured into. Makes no sense that a man who was originally aspiring to be a barber should not be able to count on his partner, the salon owner, to get a leg up. They should be a beauty industry power couple. Because remember, I think I forgot who he was talking to. Was it Danny or Preston or something? He was talking to somebody, and he said how when Karen wanted to do a salon, he wanted to hey, why don't I want to be a barber? Why don't we combo it where it's a barbershop salon thing? And she was like, no, because you be doing some stuff, you be bringing in the wrong people and whatnot and ruin the business. And to some extent, I agree. When you look at the old Zach and his track record, I don't blame her to some extent. But you also have to look at it at Karen likes to be above people. And that's why some people, when Pam started her own business, it's I don't know if she's cool with that, because it's does she feel like Pam will outgrow her to the point where she won't be her lapdog anymore? And I wanted to go back to the original post, because why didn't Karen do all these things? Or why didn't Zach do for Karen in 3 years what he did for Fatima in a number of weeks? And, people are like, oh, well, she tears him down. And then the post I read, don't expect to drink from a cup that you've never poured into. I'm willing to bet that in the beginning, Karen was like Fatima, because if I remember correctly, in season 2, back when Zach and Fatima were first interacting with each other, and anytime Zach brought up his ex, before he can even go into a full sentence, Fatima would hush him up. It's no, we don't talk about exes, it's just us. And if you remember, Zach was really hesitant to be, a recipient to all of Fatima's, I guess you could say, aside from sex, just kindness in general, because the way she was pouring into his cup, that's how his ex used to do it, but then things shifted. I'm thinking that Zach got to come, and look, this is headcanon from me, but at the same time, I'm putting together what we've actually heard in the series. I think Fatima is who Karen used to be during the first stages of their dating. But things kind of took a turn for either one reason or another. Maybe Zach got too comfortable and took advantage of the fact that Karen was waiting on him hand and foot. And then that transferred over to her being bitter and talking down to him all the time. But you could argue, well, Jeremy, how the girls talk about Karen from their college days and whatnot, it seems Karen has always been Karen. And then not only that, Karen seems to be a reflection of Zach's mom and other women in his life who always talked down to him like he was nothing. So it seems like any potential that Karen may have seen in Zach, he wasn't advancing fast enough for her liking. And maybe Zach was just acting a damn fool. And that could be why that potential became buried more and more every time Karen lashed out on him. And then another thing to think about is, you look at how much Fatima did for Zach in those first meetings of theirs where he was staying at the apartment. She hooked him up. Hey, here are the keys to a chain breaker truck. And, come back here after work. You can spend the night and this, that, and the third. Karen probably never let Zach live it down of what she did for him since day one. If I remember, didn't she say like he helped with half of the deposit on their apartment, but then never paid rent or something like that? But let me put it this way. She obviously never let Zach live it down in regards to what she did for him. That's why he knew that $77,000 exactly was what she was owed for everything she had done for him and his family since he moved in. That's what I think. So for me personally, I think the reason Fatima got to come up from Zach so quickly was indirectly due to Karen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Zach has never been in a position where he's been able to financially provide for a woman. So in a way, it almost feels like the reason he did everything so quick, like move Fatima in and whatnot. I hate to make this comparison, but remember a few years ago, I think maybe at the Red Table Talk or whatnot, this was pre-Oscar slap, but then I believe right after the August Alsina thing about, entanglement. Will said that the reason he got had like a big wedding and then he bought, a huge mansion and whatnot for the Smith family. He felt like he was doing it for Jada and whatnot, but then she said that, no, you're doing this for you because you wanted to do this and I didn't. It's like, it's almost like you had to prove to yourself that you're a provider and whatnot. I feel like Zach kind of did the same thing where all the years of being belittled and whatnot for Karen is like, I've been doing this. It's like, no. And yeah, he even told Fatima, I think after Fatima kicked him out for something. What was this when he lied about? No, because he went to the hotel after that. I think this was after he got his chain breaker money and he gave Karen a piece of it. Yeah, $5,000. And then I said, and then he's like, hey, I'm making money now. I'll pay you back everything I owed you. And then was this after Fatima found out? Yeah, I think this was after Fatima got mad about the whole thing about you slept with Karen or had sex with Karen. The grocery store. I think this was early season 3 after the grocery store debacle. He had left some money at her door in an envelope or something, but she wouldn't take it. And the reason he did that was because I don't want another woman to throw in my face the fact that, she held me down and whatnot. It's like, I don't want to like I'm taking advantage of him. So here's some money for, putting me up for, as long as you did and whatnot. And Fatima wouldn't accept it. So yeah, Karen beat this dude down so bad mentally and emotionally about everything she did for him. He never wants another woman to make him feel little because of what they did for him. So I think that aside from Zach actually loving Fatima, he kind of speed ran what he gave her. I mean, the car, living with him in the house and this, that, and the third. That was all because Karen made him feel so bad because she was doing all this stuff for him. So I think in some way, hypothetically speaking, let's say Zach had a come up not long after, let's just say mid-season 2. Let's say he and Fatima, for whatever reason, just didn't work out. If he had that come up in like late season 1 or early season 2, I think Karen would have chosen Zach as opposed to getting with Aaron. Because remember, she chose Aaron instead of Zach in front of everybody. I think Zach would have bought her a bunch of stuff only to show her that, hey, I'm not a freeloader and whatnot. But I think also that money would not have changed their issues. I think Karen would still be mad, but then Zach would be pissed because it's like, why? Wait, you ain't gonna talk to me like that any sort of way. Like, I'm the one making the money around here now. But then she'll bark about what she's owed and whatnot. And they would have been broken up within a day. Because remember, every time they got back together in season 1, they were broken up again within like the same episode or the same day. So I think Zach would be a lot more miserable and probably out of money. Because, what did he tell Fatima towards the end of like season 4 or whatever, when she made crack at him about, it's like, look, I need to get a DNA test. So yeah, that ain't the only thing you need to get tested for. It's like, yo, I'm getting tired of all the disrespect. And it's like, y'all, I keep saying, I keep trying to do better, but everybody keeps reminding me of the man I was. Like, I can go back to being the old Zach, but I'll just have a lot of money, and basically saying that, look, I can go back to the old me, but this time I got a lot more money, so I'll be doing way wilder and dumber shit than I did before. So I don't think that even if Zach got the money when he was with Karen, it would not have ended well. They wouldn't be happy. There'd be a lot of friction. He would have either blown the money, she would have been trying to be too controlling, or even worse. So I don't think that would have been the best thing. But I also think that because Karen put this man down so much, that's why the next woman got the quote-unquote reaping that she thought she deserved. So those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you in the next video.